The day Chief Lotana died, his own blood turned his daughter into a servant.
She was the only daughter of a billionaire father, yet after his death, Akumma ate once a day and slept in a room smaller than a store.
Auntie God did not just steal Akumma's father's wealth. She stole her bed, her food, her peace, and almost stole her future.
5 children lived under that roof, with soft beds, full plates, and expensive phones.
There was once a wealthy businessman named Chief Lotana. His name carried weight across towns and cities. People respected him and also admired him, and wherever he went, doors opened before him. At 65 years old, Chief Lotana had built an empire. He owned companies, lands, houses, and many cars. But among all his achievements, there was one treasure he loved more than everything else. His daughter. Her name was Akumma. Akumma was 16 years old, beautiful, intelligent, and respectful young girl. And unlike many children raised in luxury, she treated everyone with kindness. Every evening, Chief Lotana would sit with her inside his private library. One particular evening, he looked at her and smiled. "My daughter," he said, "never forget this." Akumma listened carefully. Money can disappear. Houses can collapse, businesses can fail, but education and good character are treasures nobody can steal. Akumma smiled. She had heard those words many times, yet she never knew they would soon become the most important words of her life. Outside, dark clouds gathered. A storm was coming, and destiny was quietly preparing to change everything. That same night, while reviewing important documents in his office, Chief Lotana suddenly felt a sharp pain in his chest. The papers slipped from his hands. His breathing became difficult. He tried to stand, but this time, he couldn't. Workers rushed toward him. His staff called for help, but before help arrived, Chief Lotana has collapsed. The empire he had spent decades building suddenly stood without its king, and somewhere inside the mansion, Akumma was about to receive the news that would break her world forever. The news spread faster than rainfall. Chief Lotana was dead. The entire community fell into mourning, and people gathered from distant towns. Business partners arrived, relatives came, friends wept openly. But nobody cried harder than Akumma. At the funeral, she stood beside her father's grave. Her hands trembled. Her eyes were swollen from tears. As her father's remains slowly disappeared into the ground, she felt as if her future was being buried alongside it. Suddenly, someone wrapped their arms around her. It was Auntie Ngor. "My dear child," she whispered, "you are not alone." Akumma nodded through her tears. For the first time since her father's death, she felt a little comfort. What she did not know was that behind Auntie Ngor's sympathy lived something dangerous. She was very greedy. While mourners prayed and cried, Auntie Ngor was already thinking about Chief Lotana's wealth, his businesses, properties, investments, his fortune, and everything else he had worked for, all through his lifetime. Days later, lawyers began discussing the estate. Akumma assumed her father's wishes would be honored. After all, she was his only child. Surely nobody would take what belonged to her. But sometimes, the people who smile the most are hiding the darkest intentions. And Auntie Ngor was about to reveal hers, despite the fact that she was still enjoying all the wealth transferred to her by Chief Lotana before his unfortunate demise. Auntie Ngor was still greedy towards Akumma. The changes began quietly, almost too quietly. First, Akumma noticed that some of her father's offices were now being controlled by Auntie Ngor. Then, she noticed important documents disappearing. Then, she noticed strange conversations, stopping whenever she entered a room. something felt wrong. Very wrong. One afternoon, she overheard a conversation. A lawyer was speaking to Aunt Ngor. There may be questions later, he warned. Aunt Ngor smiled. By the time questions come, everything will already belong to me. Akumma froze. Belong to me? What did that mean? That evening, she searched her father's study room. Most of his important documents were already gone. The next morning, she was informed that ownership of several properties had already been transferred to someone else. She couldn't understand it. How? Why? She asked. Days later, the answer became painfully clear. Auntie Ngor had taken control of almost everything. The businesses, the properties, the accounts, the investments, name it. If this was you, what would you have done in this situation? Drop it on the comments section below. Someone may be waiting for it. So Akumma felt the ground disappear beneath her feet. Her father's empire was vanishing, and nobody seemed willing to stop it. Yet the worst part was still coming. Because Aunt Ngor was not satisfied with taking just the inheritance alone, she wanted complete control, including control over Akumma herself. At first, Akumma thought things would improve, bearing in mind that her father, Chief Lotana, was very generous. I mean, too generous to Aunt Ngor and her entire family. Instead, things became worse, much worse than she ever thought. One morning, Aunt Ngor handed her a bucket. Take this. Akumma looked confused. For what? Aunt Ngor folded her arms and said, because from today, you will earn your place in this house. Wow! The words hit more than a slap to Akumma's face. What do you mean? I mean exactly what I said. And that was the day everything changed. Akumma stopped eating at the family table. She stopped living in her father's wing of the mansion. She stopped being treated like family. Instead, she was moved into a tiny storage room behind the house. Every morning before sunrise, she fetched water. Oh my God! She swept the compound, washed clothes. She cleaned bathrooms, cooked meals. She worked from dawn until night. Meanwhile, Auntie Noka's 5 children continued to enjoy luxuries owned by Akumma's father. Olivia spent hours taking photos for social media. Jason slept until noon. Brandon spent money carelessly. Sophia demanded new gadgets every month. Ethan laughed whenever Akumma struggled. Whenever they saw her working, they mocked her. Whenever they saw her tired, they laughed. Whenever they saw her hungry, they ignored her. Sometimes, Akumma received only one meal for an entire day. Yet she never forgot her father's words. Education and good character are treasures nobody can steal. Each night, she repeated those words to herself, again and again and again, because they were the only thing keeping her strong. But destiny had already started preparing a surprise, and the first sign of it would appear inside a classroom. Every morning, Akumma woke before everyone else. She worked for hours. Then she rushed to school, often late, most times hungry and exhausted. Yet something incredible happened. Despite everything, she remained the best student in her class. Her teachers noticed. Her classmates noticed. Even the school principal noticed too. One afternoon, a mathematics teacher asked a difficult question. The classroom became silent. Nobody knew the answer. Not Olivia, not Jason, not anyone. Then Akumma slowly raised her hand. The teacher smiled. Go ahead. Akumma walked to the board. Within minutes, she solved the problem perfectly. The classroom erupted with applause. The teacher stared in amazement. Wow, how could a girl carrying the weight of the world still shine this brightly? Later that day, the principal called her into his office. My child, he said softly, what is your secret? Akumma smiled. The answer came instantly. My father taught me something before he died. The principal leaned forward. What was it? She looked out the window. Then she repeated the words that had become her lifeline. Education and good character are treasures nobody can steal. The principal sat quietly. He would never forget those words, neither would Destiny, because somewhere beyond that school, a scholarship opportunity was about to emerge, an opportunity powerful enough to change Akumma's life forever. And when it arrived, it would set in motion events that neither Auntie Ngor nor her children could stop. The morning after her meeting with the principal, Akumma returned home carrying a small piece of paper. It looked ordinary, just a simple announcement. Yet hidden within it was an opportunity that could change her life forever. A national scholarship competition. The winners would receive full sponsorship through university, tuition, accommodation, books, everything. For a moment, Akumma's heart raced. This was exactly the kind of opportunity her father had always dreamed about for her. But almost immediately, reality returned. How could she prepare? She already woke before sunrise. She worked until exhaustion. She barely had enough time to sleep. Yet, as she stared at the announcement, she remembered Chief Lotana's voice. Education and good character are treasures nobody can steal. Those words became her fuel. That night, while the rest of the household slept peacefully, Akumma sat beneath a dim lantern. She studied until midnight, then until 1 o'clock, then until 2. Every page she turned felt like a step toward freedom. Weeks passed. Her workload at home increased. Auntie Joy seemed determined to make her life harder. More chores, more responsibilities, less food, less rest. Yet somehow, Akumma continued. She did so quietly, patiently, and relentlessly. Then finally, the examination day arrived. Hundreds of students gathered. Some looked confident, some looked nervous. Akumma looked exhausted, but hidden beneath her tired eyes was something powerful. Her determination was on point. And before the examination ended, destiny had already begun moving in her favor. Months passed before the results were released. The anticipation spread through schools across the country. Students checked their phones. Parents refreshed websites. Teachers waited anxiously. Then the results finally arrived. The principal stood before the morning assembly. His face carried an unusual smile. The students whispered among themselves. Something important had happened. Very important. My dear students, the principal announced, we have received incredible news. The crowd became silent. Then he continued. One of our students has achieved one of the highest scores in the entire nation. The students gasped. The teachers smiled. The principal paused dramatically. Then he spoke the name, Akumma. The entire assembly exploded into applause. Some students cheered. Some stared in disbelief. Some felt inspired. But among those listening were Olivia, Jason, Brandon, Sophia, and Ethan. Their faces changed instantly. Some were shocked. Some were jealous. And others still in disbelief. How could the girl they treated like a servant outperform everyone? Meanwhile, Akumma stood frozen. Tears slowly formed in her eyes. For the first time since her father's death, she felt something she had almost forgotten. Hope. However, someone else was listening. Someone who viewed Akumma's success as a threat. Back at the mansion, Auntie Ngor received the news, and the smile disappeared from her face. When Auntie Ngor heard about the scholarship, she locked herself inside her room. She wasn't angry because Akumma had succeeded. She was afraid, very afraid. For years she had controlled every part of Akumma's life. For years, she had convinced everyone that Akumma was weak and dependent. But now, things were changing. If Akumma received an education, if Akumma became successful, if she started asking questions about her father's inheritance, everything could collapse. That evening, Auntie Ngor sat alone, staring at old files hidden inside a locked cabinet. Files she hadn't touched in years. Documents connected to Chief Lotana. Documents she hoped nobody would ever discover. Her hands trembled slightly. Then she quickly locked the cabinet again. "No one must ever find these," she whispered. Meanwhile, Akumma knew nothing about the documents. She only knew she wanted to make her father proud. But destiny was quietly connecting pieces of a puzzle that had remained hidden since the day Chief Lotana died. And soon, someone from the past would begin asking dangerous questions. Questions that Auntie Ngor desperately wanted buried forever. Several towns away, lived there an elderly lawyer named Barrister Daniel Okafor. Years earlier, he had worked closely with Chief Lotana. He knew the businessman well. He knew his character. And he knew how much Chief Lotana loved his daughter. One afternoon, Barrister Okafor attended a business event. There he overheard people discussing an inspiring scholarship winner, a young girl named Akumma, the daughter of Chief Lotana. The name immediately caught his attention. Something didn't feel right. He remembered hearing rumors after Chief Lotana's death. Rumors about inheritance disputes. Rumors about property transfers. Rumors that never made sense. Curiosity began growing inside him. That evening, he opened an old storage box containing files from years ago. Dust covered the folders. Many had not been touched in a decade. As he searched through them, he suddenly found something unexpected. A sealed envelope. Chief Lotana's name was written across it. Barrister Okafor frowned. He didn't remember seeing it before. Slowly, he turned the envelope over, and what he saw made his heart skip a beat. What? The seal had never been broken. Barrister Okafor sat quietly for several minutes. The sealed envelope rested on his desk. Memories flooded back. Meetings with Chief Lotana. Conversations about protecting Akumma's future. Promises made years ago. Carefully, he opened the envelope. Inside were copies of legal documents, property records, business ownership papers, letters, and one handwritten note. The moment he read the note, his eyes widened. Everything suddenly made sense. The rumors, the missing documents, the unusual transfers, the silence. Someone had hidden the truth, and that truth was worth millions. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Auntie Ngor could not sleep. Night after night, fear haunted her. She kept seeing Chief Lotana in her dreams. She kept hearing his voice. And deep inside, she knew something terrible was approaching. Because secrets can hide, they can sleep. They can remain buried for years. But sooner or later, the truth always wakes up. Far away, Akumma continued preparing for university, unaware that her life was about to change forever. Unaware that a forgotten envelope had just become the most dangerous object in the country. And unaware that the first crack had finally appeared in the wall of lies built around her father's empire. The battle for Chief Lotana's legacy had officially begun. For several nights, Barrister Daniel Okafor barely slept. The documents inside the sealed envelope kept replaying in his mind. Every page revealed another piece of the truth. Chief Lotana had planned carefully for Akumma's future. The businesses, the properties, the investments and others. Everything had been legally assigned to his daughter. There was no confusion, no loophole, no mistake. The documents were very clear. Akumma was the rightful heir. The more Barrister Okafor investigated, the more disturbing the situation became. Important records had vanished after Chief Lotana's death. Ownership papers had been altered. Signatures had appeared where they should not have appeared. Someone had manipulated the entire inheritance process. And all evidence pointed toward one person. Auntie Ngor, Barrister Okafor, knew he could not act carelessly. He needed proof strong enough to withstand any challenge. So he quietly began gathering evidence. Meanwhile, Akumma had left for university. For the first time in years, she slept peacefully. For the first time in years, nobody woke her before sunrise to scrub floors. Yet, she still carried her father's words everywhere she went. Education and good character are treasures nobody can steal. Little did she know that the truth about her inheritance was finally catching up to her. University life was not easy. Although her scholarship covered her education, Akumma still faced many challenges. She worked part-time jobs. She studied late into the night. She sacrificed comfort for success. But unlike before, every sacrifice moved her forward. Year after year, she excelled. Professors praised her. Classmates admired her. Employers noticed her talent. Meanwhile, back home, the lives of Auntie Ngor and her children began moving in the opposite direction. Olivia became obsessed with social media fame. Jason wasted money on unnecessary luxuries. Brandon entered risky business deals. Sophia cared more about appearances than reality. Ethan ignored education completely. The wealth they had enjoyed for years slowly started disappearing. Businesses suffered losses. Properties required expensive maintenance. Debt began piling up. Still, they ignored the warning signs. After all, they believed the fortune would last forever. But wealth without wisdom is like water in a broken basket. Sooner or later, it slips away. And destiny was only getting started. As financial problems increased, Auntie Ngor became restless. Sleep abandoned her. Peace also left her. Every night she dreamed of Chief Lotana. In her dreams, he stood silently, watching, waiting and judging her. Fear slowly replaced confidence. Then her health began to fail. Doctors prescribed treatments. Hospital visits increased. Medical expenses mounted. The woman who once controlled everything now struggled to control her own future. One evening, sitting alone in her room, she opened an old cabinet. Inside were copies of documents she had hidden for years. She stared at them. Her hands trembled. Tears filled her eyes. For the first time, she admitted the truth to herself. She had stolen from an orphan. She had betrayed her own family. And no amount of wealth could erase that reality. Outside her room, the empire she thought she owned was crumbling. 10 years passed. The frightened girl who once slept in a storage room had become an extraordinary woman. Akumma graduated with first class. She earned prestigious awards. She secured opportunities many people only dreamed about. Eventually, she founded her own company. Then another. Success followed her because she had built her life on discipline and integrity. People respected her. Investors trusted her. Communities admired her. Ha 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 ha! Wait a minute. At this point, things has turned around for Akumma. How do you suggest Auntie Ngor and her children get rewarded by Akumma? What do you think? Yet, despite everything she achieved, she never became arrogant. She never forgot the pain she endured. She never forgot her father, and she never forgot the lessons hardship had taught her. One afternoon, while speaking at a youth conference, she repeated the words that had guided her entire journey. Education and good character are treasures nobody can steal. The audience erupted into applause. But at that very moment, far away, Barrister Okafor was preparing to reveal a secret that would change Akumma's life forever. Barrister Okafor finally requested a meeting with Akumma. Curious, she agreed. When they met, he placed a thick folder on the table. Inside were documents, property records, ownership certificates, legal agreements, and Chief Lotana's handwritten note. Akumma's hands shook as she read. Tears filled her eyes. Her father had never abandoned her. He had protected her future. Every major asset had been left to her. Everything, the businesses, the lands, the investments, the estate, everything that had been stolen belonged to her. For several minutes she could not speak. Then Barrister Okafor explained the years of investigation, the hidden documents, the altered records, the evidence, the confessions, the truth. When he finished, silence filled the room. Akumma looked at her father's note one final time. Then she cried, not because of the money, not because of the inheritance, but because after all those years, she finally knew the truth. The legal process moved quickly. The evidence was overwhelming. Properties were restored, businesses were returned, assets were transferred. The truth could no longer be hidden. News spread across the town. People were shocked. Some felt guilty, others felt relieved. The orphan who had been treated like a servant was actually the rightful owner all along. Meanwhile, Auntie Nya's children faced a painful reality. The luxury they had taken for granted disappeared. Many of them struggled financially. Many regretted how they had treated Akumma. Many wished they could turn back time. But time never moves backward, it only moves forward. And now they had to face the consequences of their choices. Yet Akumma surprised everyone. She did not celebrate their downfall. She did not seek revenge. She did not humiliate them, because she had learned something important. Bitterness is another kind of prison, and she had already spent too many years trapped. One quiet evening, Akumma visited her father's grave. The sun was setting. Golden light stretched across the cemetery. For a long time, she stood silently. Then she smiled. "Father," she whispered, "your words were true." A gentle breeze moved through the trees. And for the first time in many years, her heart felt completely at peace. In the months that followed, Akumma used part of her inheritance to establish scholarships for disadvantaged children. She built learning centers. She funded educational programs. She helped the orphans and also gave opportunities to those the society had forgotten. People often asked her why she was so generous. Her answer was always the same. Because someone once tried to steal my future. I don't want anyone else's future stolen. Even Auntie Ngo's children received kindness from her, not because they deserved it, but because forgiveness freed her from the past. Years later, people no longer remembered Akumma as the orphan who suffered. They remembered her as the woman who transformed pain into purpose, the woman who turned hardship into strength, the woman who proved that true wealth is not measured by money, it is measured by character. And so, the story of Akumma became a lesson passed from one generation to another, a reminder that truth may be delayed, justice may take time, but destiny never forgets, and neither does character. Lessons from this story. 1. Wealth can be stolen, but character cannot. People may take away your possessions, opportunities, or inheritance, but no one can take away your integrity, knowledge, and determination. 2. Education is one of the greatest investments in life. As Chief Lotana taught Akumma, education remains a treasure that cannot easily be stolen or destroyed. 3. Greed eventually destroys itself. Auntie Ngo gained wealth through dishonesty, but her greed brought fear, guilt, and eventual downfall. 4. Hardship does not determine destiny. Your current situation does not define your future. Akumma went from servant to successful businesswoman. because she refused to give up. 5. Forgiveness is stronger than revenge. Akumma's greatest victory was not recovering her inheritance. It was refusing to become bitter and choosing compassion instead. Final lesson: when truth, patience, hard work, and good character walk together,
We won't forget.
destiny will eventually open doors that no amount of wickedness can permanently close. Thank you for watching our stories. Please like, subscribe, and drop your opinions on the comment section. See you on the next video.